Hey guys, welcome back. You know, I had a friend recently come home and tell me that their car was running really rough. They said that it didn't have any power and that it felt like it was shaking apart. Little 4-cylinder Toyota Corolla. So I thought that probably one of the coils was bad and it was only running on 3 cylinders. So I popped the hood, and sure enough, that engine was just violently shaking. Well, I checked the coils by pulling each one out one at a time until I found out that when I pulled one out, nothing happened. Because if I pull it up and it's not making spark anyway, it'll do nothing. So then I decided to go to the junkyard and I got one of these. This is a coil pack. This is what you use. Every cylinder on modern cars has one of these. It goes down into the hole and the spark plug goes into the boot. And it sends electric current via the computer to your spark plug, which then of course burns fuel. For years and years and years, until about the mid-90s, all cars had one coil, which energized all the spark plugs in your engine. If you had 8 cylinders, you had 8 spark plug wires. If you had 4, you had 4 spark plug wires. Well, that was a very inefficient way to burn the fuel. When they went to individual coil packs for each cylinder, it caused a jump in horsepower, but then it also caused a jump in fuel mileage because you're burning the fuel correctly. So, when I replaced his coil pack with a new one, cylinder 4 began to fire again, and all 4 cylinders were firing at the same time. The shake stopped and the car ran better and had its usual power. Now, the nice thing about coil packs versus the old school way of doing it with a coil and then leading to all the spark plug wires is long ago, if the coil was bad, the car wouldn't start at all. Or if the coil failed, let's say at a gas station or at your job, you wouldn't be able to start the car. Sometimes a coil could actually fail while you were driving, which again would put your car on the side of the road, not running. Well, when you have individual coil packs, again like this Corolla, one of the coils went bad for the cylinder. There's not one coil for every cylinder. Every cylinder has a coil. Well, the coil went bad on cylinder 4 and he was still able to get home on 3 cylinders. Now that's not something you'd want to continue to do forever because that's not really good for your engine, but it's possible. So now, like with my Crown Victoria, maybe a year ago I was driving to South Dakota and I lost a coil pack. Well, my car started running a little richer, which meant that it wasn't burning the fuel correctly because one of the cylinders wasn't firing. Now, the fuel was still going into the cylinder, but there was no spark plug to burn it off. So I went to the local hardware store, part store on the way, and they had a coil because luckily my engine is just a 4.6 liter V8 that Ford put in everything. So we talk about modern cars and how things are much harder to work on and how they're much more modern cars are kind of a pain in the butt to work on. I'd have to say a lot of things on modern cars are more difficult to work on. Yes, that is true. But there have been advancements that are really, really good and they're beneficial for the people driving the cars. I would say that this technology with individual coil packs is definitely a positive because I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want my coil to die and then there'd be no power to any of my cylinders. So the next time that you're sitting there and you're thinking modern cars and the way that they're built make it a pain for people in a driveway to work on, that's probably true in a way, but you have to remember that there are a lot of good things that have happened as well. Had this been another car, my friend's Corolla would have just broken down on the side of the road. But luckily he came back to the apartments and I knew how to troubleshoot it. I didn't have any special tools. I just pulled up each one of the plugs. And when I pulled up one and nothing happened, well, then that meant it was bad anyway, and I could replace it. So let's not look down on everything that modern cars have to offer because old school is good, until you really need to get home. All right, thanks a lot, guys.